Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday night clinical webinar. Tonight we have Ross Wilson once again, and last time Ross talked it was on equine plasma, and that was a really well subscribed event with lots of people accessing the replay as well as the live event. And tonight Ross is going to talk about I assume the canine version of the genre, and it's the use of Caniplas in veterinary practice. Ross, welcome. Thank you very much for coming on board tonight, and it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Dick. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Ross Wilson. I'm a veterinarian with over 30 years of mixed animal practice behind me and 15 years in the plasma business. I'm a co-founder of Plasvac, a director and the chief scientific officer. What we're going to talk about during this presentation is going to be a crystallization of the following information: the things that we have detected and measured in Caniplas, experiments and a clinical trial we've conducted with Caniplas, what the scientific literature says about the importance of E. coli antibodies, such as those that are present in Caniplas, what vets tell us about the wide range of conditions with which they are successfully treating with Caniplas, common furphies about plasma storage and shelf life. Well, who is Plasvac? We're an Australian-owned company. We have 16 employees in Calabar, Queensland, and we have a USDA subsidiary in California where 20 employees are employed. We've been producing regulated equine plasma in the USA since 1987 and in Australia since 1996. We have the first federally regulated canine plasma, Caniplas, the subject of tonight's talk, which was registered by the APVMA in 2003. We have a regulated camel plasma that has been regulated since 1998, and that is called Camel-Plas. We produce snake antivenom plasma collected from horses that are hyperimmunized with snake venoms for processing into human and veterinary antivenoms by CSL. And we've also got a bovine product under development. What is Caniplas? Caniplas is plasma collected from dogs, and these dogs are hyperimmunized and they're maintained under permanent quarantine in dedicated kennels. When I say hyperimmunized, I'll talk about that a bit more later, but they're vaccinated with a number of agents before every collection to help us tailor the antibodies that are in the plasma for the conditions that we want to target. All Caniplas is collected by a process of automated plasmapheresis, very similar to what's done in the blood banks with human donors. We collect plasma from our dogs every 3 weeks. All of our dogs are ex-racing greyhounds, which have been screened to ensure that they are suitable as universal plasma donors. All dogs are desexed and microchipped. Currently we produce for the Australian market, and we export to New Zealand, Hong Kong, Singapore, USA, Canada, and trying to get into Taiwan. Some of our regulators, this isn't a complete list by any means: the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicines Authority, the Australian Quarantine Inspection Service, Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration. They regulate us for our human snake antivenom plasma production. Animal Ethics Committee, part of the Animal Welfare Unit, United States Department of Agriculture, California Department of Food and Agriculture, individual USA state vets, and the Canadian Food Inspection Authority. What sets Caniplas apart? Well, every single unit is made under current good manufacturing practice license conditions with animal ethics approval. It is all collected by plasmapheresis, which gives greater purity. Every batch from each donor is fully QC tested for antibody potency, sterility, and freedom from blood cell contamination. We have an ongoing blood-borne disease testing program in all of our dogs. We have an ongoing stability testing program with all of our products. The dogs are quarantined and dedicated to the task of producing Caniplas, and as I say, they're all microchipped. The real interesting thing that sets Caniplas apart from normal blood bank plasma is there's targeted antibodies in it. We hyperimmunize our dogs with canine 5-way vaccine and a killed E. coli vaccine, which we own. And we have found that the antibodies produced by it are extremely therapeutic in cases of endotoxemia or sepsis. I'll go into that a bit more later. You see some papers mentioned throughout this presentation. I'll point out at this stage that they're all available on the PlasVac website in the tab labelled scientific presentations, or scientific papers, I should say. As well as that, we have an ongoing R&D program.